It would appear that Prince Harry's literally played into the hands and, more importantly, the team of Meghan Markle, seemingly, of course, without really thinking it through. But this could have stronger repercussions than even he first thought. As ever, let me explain. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you today, and thank you so much for joining me, and as ever, and nice to have your company. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? We all do this sort of thing, and I think it's worse now, I'm sure you'll all agree, in the social media world, simply because, of course, when you think about it, in our era, it was a picture, if you were lucky, in the right sun at the right time, and if somebody had a camera, do you remember all of that? And then, of course, there might be notes, as we found recently, didn't we? A letter over 100 years ago, sent, of course, by the late Queen Mother, talking about her possible engagement, non-engagement. Fascinating how history repeats itself. Now, when you think about somebody like Prince Harry, he now knows, of course, that he lives in a digital media world. And of course, when you think about it, there's lots of speculation regarding his marriage to, of course, the cable TV actress Meghan Markle. Seemingly there are points now, fractious points, that we're seeing on a more regular basis, where he's looking fed up, downcast, and literally browbeaten out of his own role. He's clearly trying to still play this sort of cod royal role, the from the office off. I mean, what office? It's a room in your house with a couple of computers propped up on a few books, and you were chucked outside juggling limes. That's exactly what your wife thought about you, Harry. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. But what is interesting now is this, because as we all know, Harry has hit something of a major problem, and it's something that could easily be played by, of course, his wife or indeed their team. Let me explain. See, as we've now seen, that Prince Harry's lawyers are basically trying to say, well, he could have made this up and he could have made that up. Now, everything's now speculative about that particular book and indeed interviews. But, when you are on a bigger plane, shall we say, and as ever we have to say allegedly, let me tell you, all is not well in the world of Montecito. Meghan and her team feel somewhat that, of course, the ongoing shenanigans regarding the British royal family and indeed perhaps her husband, and as ever, again, we have to say allegedly, can thwart and stop ideas moving forward. And you can understand that. No two ways about it. Meghan really has cast aside her UK life, her UK dream, and basically, if you remember at that engagement interview, she wouldn't have minded going around the Commonwealth. Yes, at the taxpayer's expense, but that wasn't to be, was it? Now, of course, Harry basically labelling himself something of a liar inside his own book. That's his lawyer's version of events anyway. Well, a lot of people are speculating that Harry has literally done the ultimate betrayal for love. And this is because, of course, here is a man who is literally blindsided by his love for his wife. There's no two ways about it. But even that is now showing signs of fray. This is because Harry, of course, claimed things like, the drug taking, the Afghan shootouts, all of that sort of stuff. Did he big himself up in front of Meghan? Did he want to make himself look a bigger war hero, or whatever you want to call it? That is now the big speculation. And quite frankly, a source very close to Meghan said that if she wanted to have sights for, shall we say, difficulties within the marriage, reconcilable differences, whatever you want to call it, well, basically, he's put it all out there now, hasn't he? The me you can't see, the Oprah Winfrey interview, the book, the other interviews. Quite frankly, Harry, you've boxed yourself into a corner, and very soon, if you're not very careful, unless you come out with the truth, things could take a dramatic turn for the worst. And I'm telling you, as someone who knows. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.